Hello, hi everyone. I want to say hi. Today I heard the news that Pope Francis passed away, which is a really sad news because I've been a big fan of his for a while, and I think he's one of the most respected religious leaders in our recent decades. Yeah, I was really sad seeing him go because really, according to many, he's one of the more liberal religious leaders in the Catholic world. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to say rest in peace for him. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm with you, those who are sad, Catholics, Christians, who else? Yeah. Really, you don't need to, be a religious person to like somebody who's a religious leader. They're inspiring no matter what profession they are, no matter what sect they are, not even no matter what religion they are in, really. I think a lot of people put too much focus on the formalistic aspects of things. They put so much focus and emphasis on what sect, what religion, you know, what denomination, things like that. But in the religious world, at least in the Christian world, I think everyone is really one as a unity. They really should be, yeah. So, um, yeah, really made him rest in peace. And I think he's so inspiring in the way he's such a universal leader. He doesn't only focus on a specific area of the world. Instead, he visits those really poor region, really dangerous region, and really some of those areas that are not Christianized at all. So I think that's a really great move. And he also have a lot of sympathy on people who are not the quote unquote norm. You know, I think that's important. I think really being a devout Christian, one of our biggest factors or faith is really loving people with your heart, with your mind. Really like Jesus. He teaches everybody to love one another, despite of their background, despite of their social class, whatever sect they are. You know, really is out there being generous in a way, being very giving. Being very forgiving, embracing. You know, tolerant. Really, this is what our world needs. But so many people do not understand that. They focus on so much of the conflicts between people, seeking revenge, hating each other, and really seeing the worst in people, which is really not the right way of approaching things. Yeah, so what an amazing coincidence that right after Easter Sunday in the Christian world, when Jesus is being commemorated for having risen, the next day, the most important religious leader in the Christian world passed away. I really think like he is holding up there, really trying to go after this threshold, you know, and then closing a chapter in his life. So I just have my biggest commemoration there. Yeah. I learned that he's a chemist. He's a chemist. He has a master's in chemistry, and he also taught English. So that reminds me of the early, you know, um, Christian priests. Many of them are very well learned. They learned Latin, Greek, a lot of different early learnings. They're very knowledgeable. A lot of them are some of the earliest scientists, some of the earliest scholars, and people who are really well versed in ancient literature. Because as the Christian world rose, they really was based on the earlier teachings of secular religions. You know, they bring their Hebrew teaching, and they've been uplifted by the ancient Roman world, Greek, who was based on Greek philosophy. They really make it a national religion in the Roman Empire that becomes the unifying factor in the Western world, even globally up to this day. So I just feel the Catholic Church, even though there's controversies, they really brought so many things to life. they're really fully functional as a organized religion that can help things in a worldly sense as well. So, and some of the earlier missionaries are also Catholics. I mean, I kind of grew up in a Protestant environment, and people I know, they're all, North American Catholics. Many, even when I go abroad to Europe, I go to countries that are Protestant countries. So mostly the contemporary world is heavily influenced by Protestant countries, and I feel like the Catholics play a equal part in this, and therefore, just for me as a non-white, non-European descent, I like to read the literature or the history of early Christians that came to different parts of the world, and I've learned that they really became the bridge builder between different civilizations. They were actually the first people who brought science to China, Asia, Western science. I mean, they brought so much learning of the ancient Greeks. They even went to the imperial court of China, and they've educated the emperors of China on geometry, on science, on a lot of different things. So I think it's really, quite really very incredible. Some of those are, a lot of the earlier missionaries, they're Jesuits. In this sense, I think they really are quite valuable in terms of not only being a religious leader, but also being a person who is a messenger, who bridges the cultures together. So I think that's something admirable. That's really something quite admirable about the Catholics, yeah, or even some of the earlier Protestants, but they didn't come till later, yeah. So I really feel like they played a big role. And Francis, Pope Francis, he was a very open-minded liberal thinker, and there's also the left-right thing between the Catholic leaders as well, who takes turn, who leads the trend of things. So there's always that in both. But overall, I think what's most important is, like the Bible teaches, the most important thing is to love each other, care about each other. Really, that's the one most important thing that the New Testament teaches, is mutual love, sympathy, kindness. Yeah. So I just want to, in this world, amidst this world chaos, all these things happening, we need to go back and think, what is our true faith? Our true faith is God, our godly beliefs, our godly actions, and our love, kindness toward our companion, the rest of humanities. We, from different levels, both from a humanistic perspective of democracy, equality, at that worldly level, secular level, as well in the religious world, Christians, Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, everyone, we fundamentally believe in kindness. We fundamentally believe in a higher being, a higher power force beyond our human understanding. And then that's the binding force for the rest of our world. Yeah. We are worried about the situation in America, and we criticize people like Donald Trump or some of the leaders who are bringing negative outcomes. But at the same time, we had to remember that we should focus on the people more. You really should focus on by the people, for the people. Really, this is our fundamental belief. And these two, secular and non-secular, they intersect in a way that makes this society a really well-balanced society of both secular power and religious, spiritual power. Yeah. So I just want to say, let's just pray that this world's gonna get better, and we commemorate people like Saint Francis, and we just want to make sure this world's a little better, do our best, play our part in making peace. Yeah.